At the age of 14, she had been abducted from her home twice and suffered what she says was, in effect, brainwashing at the hands of a family friend. And that was almost 30 years ago. And now, inspired by the Elizabeth Smart case, actress Diane Broberg is speaking out. And her mother, Marianne, has written about what happened in a book called Stolen Innocence. And Jan joins us now. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
With us. I want to get to the fact that this man has resurfaced in your life in a little bit, but let's go back. You were 12 years old the first time, you were 14 years old the second time, and the first time that you were abducted, he served a little time.
Yes, 45 days in jail.
45 days in jail, was to back out again. Then later on, he served a year in jail for...
rape of a child.
Another child.
Another child.
Now, you wanted to speak because you said one of the critical things you want to point out to people is that this was a family friend. This was someone who was so good to you, bringing presents, paying attention, and that, in a way, is a warning sign.
It's a big warning sign. I think any time that somebody who has a family of their own takes a special interest in your family or your children above and beyond what you would consider normal, looking back at the situation.
So use your instinct here.
Use your gut. Go with that. Also, if your children are saying, I don't want to kiss Uncle Harry or hug Aunt Sally, use their instincts. Many times children are sensitive to things that maybe you're not, and you should look at that as well. And
you were talking about the fact that you were told many things, one of which was that this was a UFO experience.
Yes, when I woke up in the back of that motorhome, and keep in mind that this man and his entire family had been our best friends for 2.5 years prior to this experience. All of the brainwashing, the seeds had been planted prior to waking up in the back of that motorhome, strapped to the bed with an ivory box playing in my ear in a high-pitched monotone voice that I had been kidnapped by a UFO and was to do everything they told me, and if I didn't, I would be instantly vaporized.
One of the things you've said, it's hard to imagine now that any 12-year-old today would ever be susceptible to this, but back then, you think you were more protected, more insulated, more isolated.
Yes, obviously in the early 70s we were more naive. You know, we were making copies on ditto machines and things like that. We didn't have as much knowledge, but absolutely children are brainwashed today. And it can be in a much lesser way, but they are threatened, they're isolated, they're in fear, they don't tell, they keep their secrets.
And you say it took you about 4 years really to get all of this out of your system.
Oh, I didn't tell anyone what was happening to me. I completely believed it for 4 years of my life.
I want to talk a little bit about what you did after that, because it's quite remarkable. You graduated with highest honors from Brigham University. You also are an actress on Everwood on the WB network.
Right.
And I think we've even seen you there a number of times. Touched by an Angel, we've seen you on. What was it in you that survived this?
Well, I think, first of all, I had 12 good years before it happened. I had wonderful parents, I had a strong faith, I had a strong family, strong friends, good community. So that was a base that I obviously could go back to, and that was a huge blessing in my life. Also, I am a strong person, and I'm a capable person, and I believe that people can heal. And I think you have to believe in that. You have to have hope in that. You can live in the 10% of that awful experience or the 90%, which is the rest of your life, and make a difference for somebody else.
I was asking you about this because I'm struck by how many children from very religious households are, I guess, targeted, first of all, but seem susceptible in a way to the what are they?
The workings of a madman?
Well,
of a fanatic?
For somebody who wants to prey on their minds.
Absolutely.
Do you know what that's about?
Well, I think any time that you're taught to have faith in something, you should also be taught to find facts. If you're going to be taught to believe in something, you better be taught to question it as well. And I think that that's a mistake we make.
And now, 30 years later, while the book is being promoted, you say that he has been seen. He has come around again?
Yes, I've been giving conferences with my mother at different events, child abuse, national child abuse conferences, and mental health things that we've spoken at, and he showed up in a van and tried to run over somebody just recently. I think he's desperate because he knows our stories come out, and we've, well, I can't say.
Did you get a restraining order? Did you apply for one?
Yes, I did. I have a stalking injunction against him so that hopefully that will keep him from coming near me so that I can get my message out. It had nothing to do with him. We We are telling the story to educate others.
Well, again, it's called Stolen Innocence, and thank you very much, Jan.
Thank you,
for coming
Diane.
in. Coming up next.